III has left the country for the The Deputy Prime Minister Themba Masuku says the office is working on having the country's elderly funeral cover program. The Minister of Agriculture, Jabulani Mabuza, has signed a charter with Sadaq representatives where they will address challenges of agriculture development. The news. His Majesty King Eswatini III has left the country for the Commonwealth Summit to be held in Rwanda. His Majesty the King jetted out of the country through the King Eswatini III International Airport.
Ingwenyama Yamaswati left the country through the King Mswati III International Airport for Kigali, where he will join other member heads of state in a first Commonwealth Summit since 2018. Representing Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II in this summit is Prince Charles. This summit is the first in Africa since 2007, and it was postponed in the year 2021 and 2022 because of the pandemic. To bid farewell to His Majesty was a makhosikati to His Majesty King Mswati III, Sigodlo, Prince and Princesses, cabinet members and members of the public. On the news tonight, I'm Xolisi Mavimbela.
The Deputy Prime Minister Themba Masuku says the office is working on having the country's elderly funeral cover program commence soon. The Deputy Prime Minister has been speaking during the sitting of the House of Assembly on Wednesday.
On Wednesday, the House of Assembly resumed its parliamentary business, where one of the matters debated on the day was that of the country's elderly funeral cover program. Members of the House requested the Office of the Deputy Prime Minister to furnish the House with responses on the benefits of the cover as well as the commencement date. The Deputy Prime Minister Themba Masuku said the program is currently at the tendering stage.
Nasebudgetiwe wabudgetelwa 10 million. Nasiceda ukubudgeta 10 million. Kwafuneka ukuthi litiko libese libhalela ka finance icela nakulokuthiwa i-authority to spend. Kusho sisefuna kuspenda lo 10 million. Nasisafuna lokho litiko lilungisa ke manje i-tender document letawuphekeletelana nale authority to spend. Now step sesibili lapho lesentako step lesithi sefuna si-advertise ke simeme tinhlangano noma ke tinkampani tabo insurance leti tawungenela lesicelo sethu sesiyasi-advertise ke 6, 7, 8, 9 ku-April lapho si advertise emaphepheni lamabili eveni ngikhumbula kahle Times ne-Observer. Sesifaka na-government website ke ukuthi labafisako abangenele lo msebenzi. Naseke sesikwentile lokho sigaba sesithathu sesingena kulolo kuthiwa i-pretender. La bese-ke labane sifiso sokungenela lo msebenzi bese bayeda sitokhulumisana nabo batokhona kuthola la ma-tender documents. So sikwenta lokho mhla ka-21 sene date lapho. Babe sihlanu ke ngete ngawasho lamagama abo ngoba ayikapheli le process. Babe sihlanu labawungenela bathatha la ma-tender documents. Sesithi ke funeka abuye akuvulwa mhla ka-6 kuMeyi. Ayabuya ke ubuya linye ke manje. Lalabanye abasabuyi lalabangifo. Sesithi ke cha asiqhubeke ke sekuthi sihlala ke phansi sengena iprocess ye tender evaluation lo khona yena lobuyile uyakwenta yini letinto lesithe sifuna tenteke.
Members of the House then debated the matter.
Iya consider nikushaya umthetho for the process lena, Mr. Speaker. Sizathu ngokuthi tawuchubeka ube dema dates ube kanti kube kunemthetho Speaker lokuthi ngelanga leli ngikuthi umuntu kufuna athole ini kube nema regulations Speaker. Ngicabanga ukuthi kungasebenzeka. Kubuta nje Speaker uthi induna consider initiate umthetho.
Bengithi kuMinister ukuthola ukuthi kutaba yini esinga expect kulama benefits ukuthi kutaba yini.
Le cover imali 5 months ago lo muntu weliva behleli lapha and pronounced that bogogo sebatawungcwatsho sakhutal bayethu 6 months later akukendeki lokho akusiyo any defiance nangaba akusiyo yini because nalele lakuchazako akusiko ukungcwaba bogogo ngizokhulunywa bo insurance nalowa nebelisa sida cala nini gogo kungcwatshwa angcwatshwe nguhulumende
10 million. How many elderly will be covered? Good 10 million, Mr. Speaker.
The Deputy Prime Minister then responded to the debate.
The process it's nyaka kunesigaba esitawungena kuso. Sesitawungena esigabeni sekunegotiator nalo service provider lese asele yedwa lese evaluate. Ngeke lo tawuthi ngicala mhla kaZibandaba ngoba sowufile lokho nalenzaba yekuthi ke lawo ma-timelines atawusetha kulama negotiation ngoba sesiyesigabeni sekunegotiator nasuka ka-finance nalokho equality ye-casket ngicabanga ukuthi laba nema-insurance la personal bayawadi kokuthi nasenegotiator le package ngilana nikhuluma khona sile mali lo 20 emalangeni lokuthengele info insurance ya 10,000 noma ya 5,000 noma ya bani ngilapha nithi negotiator bese niyasetha.
When the office of the Deputy Prime Minister appeared before the Public Accounts Committee PAC earlier this month, Chairperson of the committee Musagnene urged the office of the Deputy Prime Minister to give the project the agency it deserves. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I am Samgal Suekoza with Muzum Konta, Parliament.
The Minister of Agriculture, Jabulani Mabuza, has signed a charter with Sadaq representatives where they will address challenges of agricultural development and achieving food security for the people. The signing took place at the Ministry of Agriculture offices in Babane.
The Minister of Agriculture, Jabulani Mabuza, signed the charter establishing the Sadaq Seed Center aimed at achieving sustainable food security within the Sadaq region. The Minister says this is important because it creates opportunities for public-private sector in plant breeding and development. This took place at the Ministry of Agriculture offices in Babane.
Seed is a key input for improving crop production and crop productivity, thereby contributing to food security and access to quality seed facilitates food resource diversification and prevention of genetic erosion in agriculture. The purpose of the charter establishing the Sadaq Seed Center is to govern cooperation of member states in the coordination of seed certification and quality assurance.
The Sadaq Programs Officer, Isaiah Chelele, says this opportunity will see the growth of the production of seeds within the Sadaq region.
So we looked at all this and said, what can we agree on as experts to deal with all this so that seeds can move faster, cheaply, and make it realize that issue of high and improved productivity in the region. So we agreed on the standards, and after that we developed 2 instruments. One was to encourage the private sector investment in the region by protecting the breeders' rights. The protocol, which I think Eswatini has signed, as it has been signed. So we're left with this second instrument that was the charter, which establishes an office under Sadaq, subsidiarity office, that will...
For Eswatini TV News, I am Kian MCB with Nonjabulu Makakula, Babane.
The Minister for Home Affairs, Princess Lindiwe, says that she is aware that there is a crisis in a ministry that is alleged to be caused by nepotistic practices. Princess Lindiwe says on Friday she is going to meet involved parties about the issue. The minister was speaking in Parliament when asked to inform members of Parliament about the crisis in a ministry.
Members of Parliament asked the minister if she is aware that Home Affairs employees are on go-slow due to nepotistic practices involving senior members of staff and senior civil service commission. Members of Parliament wanted to know from the minister the reason behind the non-issuance of birth and death certificates.
Is the minister aware ukuthi le ndzaba le ifaka under secretary ifaka nalo mabhalane we CSC letiko? Is the minister aware ukuthi le ghost law ikhozwa staff ukuthi si aggrieved but all the time siya overlookeka when it comes to my promotions kulandwe bantu lecelele?
Kwentiwa yini lokuthi nangabe le team yakhe lebhalisako iya lengaphandle bangayi notify lenkundla leyo leya kuyo? Kwesibili, Speaker, induna iyati lokuthi le certificate lokhanza ukuthi tidzinga nje kulungiswa into lencane. Letinengi tato tiyalahleka tisabuyele kulabanikati bato ngenxa lokuthi tiyele mbabane.
I-issue yekuthi ema-corrections ongayo wendiwe mbabane uma ngabe kwaba nemuntu lowaganga kuma-region akucondzane naloko kuganga kubuyiselo lekuma-regions lesive siyasafarisha, Mr. Speaker.
When responding, the Minister for Home Affairs, Princess Lindiwe, says she is aware that there is an issue in her ministry, although she doesn't have the facts. Princess Lindiwe says she is yet to meet the relevant parties on this issue.
Nayo leyo angiyati mhlonishwa kufanele ukuthi ngiseshisise kahle ngibone lokuthi kwendekani ukuthi US welitiko ngabe wendani nemaka CSC. I am aware ukuthi kunenkinga lekhona la kulama promotions. Solo seza manje siyahlala siyaplana sibone ukuthi ingabe singenta njani kuwenta umsebenzi wethu ube ngcono. So ngeke ngisho ukuthi sihlethi nje.
The minister says the mopping exercise is currently going on in different regions of the country, although there are challenges. For Eswatini TV News, Sondomlangeni with Muslim Konda in Parliament.
The Minister of Public Service, Mablala Masego, says government has done a lot in all ministries to ensure service delivery. He was speaking during the commemoration of the UNDP Public Service Day commemoration at the Cabinet offices in Mbabane.
Eswatini joined the rest of the world in commemorating the UNDP Public Service Day under the theme Building Better from COVID-19, enhancing innovative partnerships to meet sustainable development goals. Governments have the duty to provide service delivery, thus the importance to commemorate the day. The government of Eswatini is the biggest employer with about 45,000 employees currently. Speaking during the commemoration of the day, the Minister Mabulala Masego says government seeks to provide an enabling environment for all.
In an effort to introduce a broader, comprehensive and inclusive social security system and measures on the basic social protection flows, government is in the process of establishing an unemployment benefit fund to address SDG number 1, no poverty, and SDG number 10, reduced inequalities. The Ministry of Natural Resources has been able to make the following achievements, amongst others, during the past 12 months. Electrified 9,426 rural electricity group schemes throughout the rural or through the Rural Electrification Access Fund and the World Bank Network Reinforcement and Access Project.
The UNDP Deputy Representative Jane Yeboah asked government to ensure that no one is left behind, including people with disabilities, in education, health and other services.
Governments that periodically assess the opinions and perceptions of the people they serve are often more fit for purpose and better prepared to respond to the challenges. And therefore, I'm pleased that there are efforts to revisit the findings and reinvest in implementing recommendations of that study.
The Principal Secretary in the Ministry, Sipho Sabete, says despite challenges posed by the COVID-19 pandemic, government still delivers.
Government owes all her successes to the civil servants who go all out to provide quality and timely services to the nation.
The minister then urged all civil servants to work towards delivering quality service delivery and engaging in dialogue where differences arise. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I am Kian MCB with Nonchabulo Makakula Mbabane.
The government of Eswatini has implemented various projects in the country in ensuring service delivery in the education sector, health sector, finance, natural resources, amongst other sectors. Let us listen to the Minister of Public Service, Mablala Masego, highlighting some of government's achievements.
To achieve quality education in line with SDG 4 and 9, on industry, innovation, and infrastructure pre-vocational programs are being revived and made a priority so that more self-sustaining approach is applied from general education level and upwards. The Ministry of Public Service has committed support in terms of training and development that has been allocated towards this direction. Industry, innovation, infrastructure, that is SDG number 9. Government successfully facilitated the move of mechanization unit, Government Computer Services and Fuel Inspection and Quality Assurance Unit to parastatal. This move envisaged to result in more efficient service delivery by government and will strengthen the process of achieving the SDGs. Under correctional services, on SDG 1, no poverty, and SDG 2, zero hunger. Offenders are equipped with life skills so that when they are reintegrated back to society, they become change agents in the fight against hunger and make a positive contribution to alleviate poverty through skills learned. On SDG 3, good health and well-being, the department has prioritized the health and well-being of offenders and officers, and efforts have been directed towards working with partners to ensure the availability of drugs, working tools and equipment.
The Principal Secretary in the Ministry of Information, Communications and Technology, Pesheya Dube, says the National Addressing and Postcode System project is key to efficient public service delivery. The PS has been speaking during the National Addressing and Postcode System Feasibility Study Report presentation, where he was represented by Director of Archives, Ngobi Msibi.
The Kingdom of Eswatini, through the Ministry of Information, Communications and Technology, in partnership with the Eswatini Communications Commission, started a National Addressing and Postcode System project in 2020. On Thursday, ESCOM, together with the Ministry of ICT and other government ministries, gathered to deliberate the National Addressing and Postcode System Feasibility Study Report. Speaking during the meeting, the Principal Secretary in the Ministry of ICT, Pesheya,
Welcome to Yes Country for unbeatable deals like a 2,400-litre Jojo water tank for just $1,999 and a 150-litre Ariston heat tech geyser for only $3,749.99. Hurry! Hurry! Promo ends 9 July. Only at Build It. Yes, we can.
Of our nation's data infrastructure. Over the years, the use of addresses has expanded exponentially, assisting us to connect to the digital world. As we look into the future, as a country, it is extremely important that we have improved access to accurate, quality, precise and open data.
ESCOM Chief Executive Officer Mvila Dlamini said, the world has become interconnected, hence it has become imperative for the Kingdom of Eswatini to improve her connecting trends, such as having a vibrant national addressing system.
This report will only assist us to move forward and choose a suitable postcode and physical addressing system for Eswatini, in line with our country profile and requirements. Critical success factor is committed.
We apologize for the technical glitches. The Principal Secretary in the Ministry of Information, Communications and Technology, Pesha Dube, says the National Addressing and Postcode System project is key to efficient public service delivery. The PS has been speaking during the National Addressing and Postcode System Feasibility Study Report presentation, where he was represented by Director of Archives Ngobi Msibi.
The Kingdom of Eswatini, through the Ministry of Information, Communications and Technology, in partnership with the Eswatini Communications Commission, started a National Addressing and Postcode System project in 2020. On Thursday, ESCOM, together with the Ministry of ICT and other government ministries, gathered to deliberate the National Addressing and Postcode System Feasibility Study Report. Speaking during the meeting, the Principal Secretary in the Ministry of ICT, Pesha Dube, who was represented by the Director of Archives at the Ministry of ICT, Ngobi Msibi, said the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead are invaluable to the betterment of the country's economy and efficient public service delivery.
The challenges and opportunities that lie ahead are invaluable to the betterment of our economy and efficient public service delivery. The National Addressing System is undoubtedly the bedrock of our nation's data infrastructure. Over the years, the use of addresses has expanded exponentially, assisting us to connect to the digital world. As we look into the future, as a country, it is extremely important that we have improved access to accurate, quality, precise and open data.
ESCOM Chief Executive Officer Mvila Dlamini said, the world has become interconnected, hence it has become imperative for the Kingdom of Eswatini to improve her connecting trends, such as having a vibrant national addressing system.
This report will only assist us to move forward and choose a suitable postcode and physical addressing system for Eswatini, in line with our country profile and requirements. Critical success factor is commitment from all the stakeholders that are represented here. The failure and success of the project is in our hands, and so does the interest of our communities, both in urban and rural areas.
The National Addressing and Postcode System is being developed with the technical and financial support from the Universal Postal Union. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I am Samgelsuwe Koza, Matapa.
The government of the Kingdom of Eswatini updates the nation on the recruitment and replacement of health workers. In doing so, the government is building a resilient health system in human resource for health as a fundamental pillar. This is announced through a press statement issued by government spokesperson Alpheus Ngumalo.
The government statement sent to media houses by the government spokesperson Alpheus Ngumalo states that 482 vacant positions within the Ministry of Health will be filled by the end of August 2022. Currently, the Ministry of Health is in the process of recruiting 289 health professionals, including 90 general nurses, 50 nursing assistants, 35 paramedics, 5 pharmacy technicians, among others. Furthermore, the Cabinet has granted the Ministry of Health permission to recruit 49 orderlies to fill vacancies in public hospitals. For Eswatini TV, I'm Tandugutlem Mdluli. Babane.
Dear viewers, now take a look at our financial updates.
Standard Bank. It can be.
Welcome back. You're still watching Eswatini TV, and for your sports news tonight, Eswatini Women Football President Bonginkosi Mhlanga says there's a promise that the upcoming Women's League will have a title sponsor. Mhlanga says the recently appointed marketing committee in search for sponsorships has been producing positive results in securing sponsors for women football.
A couple of months ago, the Eswatini Women Football Association appointed a marketing team that was mandated to market the local women football, but most importantly, securing a title sponsor for the Women's League that has been running for years without a sponsor.
The marketing committee kukhona lele saba engagile sakhulumisana nabo.
The association's president Bonginkosi Mhlanga says positive responses have been coming from the marketing team that give assurance that next season Women's League will have a sponsor.
But kwanyalo lengakusho nje sisakhulumisana khona labo lesakhulumisana nabo lengeke ngasho kwanyalo kwekuthi sikhulumisana nabani.
Mhlanga concluded emphasizing that getting a sponsor will improve the standard of women football in the country, that will also extend the same on the national team. Sisebisa Mhlekazi, Eswatini TV Sports, Fabrice Msonera, Babane.
That is all we had for tonight, but before we wrap up, we'll take a recap of today's headlines. His Majesty King Eswatini III has left the country for the Commonwealth Summit to be held in Rwanda. The Deputy Prime Minister Themba Masuku says the office is working on having the country's elderly funeral cover program. The Minister of Agriculture, Jabulani Mabuza, has signed a charter with Sadaq representatives where they will address challenges of agriculture development. That brings us to the end of our news bulletin tonight. Up next is the weather forecast for selected towns. Good night, Eswatini.